Simon, your first team as interim head coach. Firstly, that as a kind of a personal milestone, and a second part of that question, that being the decision of Sam Prendergast to start fly half. Why have you gone there, and what does he bring over and above Jack?
The first part is, it's been a very difficult decision to pick a 15 as well as a 23, partly based on the fact that there's been a couple of really good performances in Europe leading into this Six Nations. And I think that's probably been a little bit different to November, when we didn't have those competitive games to come into. And I think all the players have come in good form, and they've made it really difficult for us to make those decisions. Sam ahead of Jack. You know what? Those two are going to play a lot of rugby, and they're going to compete with each other, along with a few other players. Kieran Frawley also in the squad. They're going to play a lot of rugby and compete for a long time together, I think. This kind of decision has gone Sam's way. We felt like he did really well in November. He got a taste for international rugby. He went away and played really well for Leinster, you know, in a good period for them as well. But he was a big part of that, those successes across the December window and into the new year. And we feel like he's the right man this weekend to lead the team. There's a lot of experience around him, and I think even though the way that Jack has trained and Jack has played coming into the Six Nations means that Sam knows he's got to keep raising his game and keep getting better. Jack, I think, played really well in Northampton in the week prior to camp, and you know he also comes in with a lot of credit in the bank in terms of what he's done over the past sort of 18 months, 2 years. Also at the back end of that Australia game, he came on and finished the game really strongly and saw out the game. So yeah, listen, that was one of the tough calls, but there was probably 6 or 7 of those decisions throughout the team selection that we would have been happy to go either way with players.
Sorry, just wait for you to get around. Anne-Marie, then Stephen, please. Thank you.
Hi, Simon.
Hi.
How are you? It sounds from what you're saying there about that decision at 10 that you might have made the decision a few weeks ago, or has it been something that's been keeping you up at night this week? When exactly did you kind of decide?
No, you know, I think it's, you know, when you come into camp, you have a feel of how players have come in, but also, you know, we had a feel from November. We reflected around our performances in November, and certainly, you know, both sides of the ball. But certainly, we felt like we needed to keep evolving as a team. Need to keep pushing on. You know, other teams are going to see what we're doing and feel like they can try and get ahead of us. So we knew that we had to keep progressing and getting better. You know, the decision on Sam is one that we feel is, for this game, is the right decision. But also we know that the game these days, you know, the starting 10 often isn't the finishing 10. And we feel like Sam will be really well sort of supported and connected around players that he's going to be playing with. And, you know, likewise, when Jack gets his opportunity, you know, he'll be able to come on and I feel impact the game in the right way, like he did in November. So there was certainly no preconceived ideas. Selection isn't a perfect science. You know, it's conversations that you have with players, with other coaches along the way, and then over a period of time, you start to sort of you know, formulate your plans. But certainly, we were pleased with the way both of them went in November. But we also felt like, you know, for the team to evolve, those two need to keep evolving and getting better as well.
Thank you, Stephen. Michael, then Kieran, then Aaron.
Thank you. Your association with Irish rugby now goes back 25 years as a player, captain in the back room. Can I ask where this moment ranks for you in that career, to be able to select the team for the Six Nations to lead them into this championship?
Yeah, I guess I haven't really thought about it in those terms. I know I've been around a while, 25 years. Made my debut in the year that Italy joined the Six Nations and the Six Nations formed. So yeah, feel like I've been around a while. Got a few more grey hairs, but no, it's special only because I've been very fortunate as a player, but also I guess more recently as a coach, to have been part of this group for so long, and to be part of the progression of Irish rugby and I guess how the players have developed and grown over the years, especially this group. Since 2019, I think the way that Faz set out his stall in terms of the way he wanted the team to play, but also the way he wanted the group to feel and connect with each other. And I'm a massive believer of that. I probably, as a younger coach, didn't always have the same sort of balance in my coaching and feel for that. And I feel like over a period of time, you start to work with different people. You start to generate those other kind of feelings of coaching. It's not just about technical and tactical. There's lots of different ways that you can get the best out of players. I feel very privileged to be doing this now, but it's probably been a long time in the process of different experiences that I've had.
Thank you. Michael?
Just an update on Joe McCarthy. What was his issue?
Yeah, Joe took a knock to the head yesterday in training, unfortunately, it put him out straight away from this game. So it was just, I guess it was it's a real disappointment for him and for the team, but. Yeah, he's good. He's good now. Fortunately, there's no long-standing issue there in terms of any breaks or anything. He might have damaged his nose a bit. It might look like mine a little bit now. But other than that, he's good, and he'll hopefully be joining up with the squad this weekend. But unfortunately, not available this weekend.
Was it a tackle or?
It was just it was a rugby kind of collision. It was really innocuous in terms of it was just an unfortunate set of circumstances that ended up someone's head landed on his head, and it was just it was a nasty blow. But he's come around well, and he should be good to go.
The latest on Tig for them.
So Tig unfortunately had a recurrence of the calf, and it's nothing major, to be honest. It's just it wasn't quite right, and we weren't prepared to try and push him through this week. So we made I think the right decision for Tig and for the team, for him to go and get back and rehab and make sure that he was comfortable with sort of his plan over the next couple of weeks. And like I say, it's not a major issue, but it wasn't one that we were prepared to take any risk on this weekend.
Michael, I have a few people to get around. Thank you. Kieran and a Cameron, please. Thank you.
Simon, what do you hope to see from Ryan Baird this weekend? He started the games going forward. It's a big opportunity.
It is, along with a lot of players. But Ryan, he's played in some big games for us, but he's had a few injuries along the way, and I think this one really represents a real opportunity for him as a player to come in and leave his mark in that 6 jersey. There's a lot of competitive positions in the team, but 6 and back row obviously being one of those. We've left a couple of very good players out of the squad to pick Ryan, and he's aware of that. I think he's got the bit between his teeth. He obviously he had a period of time where he wasn't playing after November, but I thought he did well in La Rochelle in a big game over in France a couple of weeks ago for Leinster, and he comes into camp with good form, but also got his confidence back, and he's looking strong and quick and athletic, and he'll add very much to not only the line-out but also just his athletic ability is pretty special as well.
Thanks, Cameron.
It's a 5-3 split on the bench, and we know that England, whether they've won or lost, the average margin of their points either side is very small. So are you expecting a dogfight right the way through the 80s, and is this bench prepared to get you over the line?
I think the bench is strong. It's great to see Dan Sheehan get back, and he was pretty special last week in the victory against the Stormers for Leinster. I think having Henley on the bench, experience, Jack Conan looks strong and quick and athletic at the moment. I think there's a nice kind of mix of experience and a bit of excitement around players who can come on and do some damage. I thought Tom Clarkson was excellent coming off the bench in the autumn as well, and adds real impact. He's quick, he's got a lot of energy, and and think when he challenges it in the right way, it can be really strong. So Cian, a tight loose head, will obviously give us that bit of experience as well up front. So I feel like we've got the type of bench that will come on and impact the game, and we went with a 5-3 split because we feel like that was the right thing for us this weekend.
Why Robbie Henshaw over say Frawley or Jamie Osborne?
Robbie's been playing very well, as you'd have seen in his provincial colours, and that was a really tight call between him and the other two centres. So I guess for have Robbie around, he's such a strong player for us, and having his experience around in that back line, we felt was the right thing. Frawls gives us a slightly different, slightly different dynamic to the bench spot, as does Jamie. But just felt Robbie will come on and bring his experience, but also bring that type of game that we know we'll need in terms of the physicality that we'll need to bring, certainly throughout the game, but in the latter stages, I think that would be a big impact.
Just last couple of questions in live section, Nick, and then we'll finish off here. Is that okay?
Simon, you talked about evolving, progressing. Are there obvious areas where there's headroom that you can look at?
Yeah, hopefully we'll see that, Nick, over the next few weeks. We've reflected, and as coaches, we reflected around parts of our game that we felt like we could get better at, and maybe where we didn't quite get right in the autumn. And the nice thing and the good thing is we've also had really good feedback from players, leadership group in particular, who were reflecting in the same way. When they had time back at their provinces and they'd had time to kind of digest what had gone on in the autumn, they came back with very similar feedback. It wasn't forced or anything. It was just we got some feedback. We were pretty aligned in that feedback in terms of what we were thinking as coaches and what they were thinking. So I think it'll be a nice evolvement for this team to keep pushing on and keep trying to stay ahead of the pack.
Do you want to keep those areas to yourself?
Yeah. Hopefully you'll see a few on Saturday, and then you can ask me afterwards.
Thanks. Just final question of this section, please.
Can I just ask what you make of the Curry brothers in the back of the England back row? Is that something you saw coming? That was the field, both of them?
No, but it's been done before. England have picked Underhill before, and Earl and Curry, I think. So it's not like they haven't done it before. They're both fabulous players. They've been playing really well for Sale. I guess they understand their strengths and how they play with each other. Not having done it in a starting test match, I don't think, for England before, but they've been in the 23 together. So, it poses other threats in terms of what they bring to the game, but it also, it kind of signals a little bit about the way England want to play the game, and for us, that's could be an opportunity as well.